either watching this video on Facebook Live, meaning it's Sunday night, and you just watched the Steelers season pretty much end, or you're listening to us on the River's Edge on Tuesday, in which case you're probably nursing a massive hangover, in which case we'll try to keep it down. It is the Mike Sasson Show. This is a very special Mike Sasson Show. I constantly say that, but this week I'm not lying. Today, we're going to look back on the year that was 2018. It was a year. It happened. We'll recap it, and then we'll put it away and never speak of it again. My name is Mike Sasson. I am your host, and you are listening to us again live from the beautiful Mr. Small Studio Theater in beautiful Millvale, Pennsylvania. It's awesome. It's wondrous. If you've never been here, you should show up. You should bring the kids. And this is where we record the show, and you listen to it on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com, where you get the best local music, the best local talk, and it's going to be an amazing 2019. It was an incredible 2018 for the River's Edge, so it's going to be an incredible 2019. Also, the other thing that we're going to be looking at is the fact that we are going to be looking at wondrous things that happened to us throughout the year. A great thing like my trips out to California. We talked to Alex over there, who is sitting right there patiently waiting for her opportunity to speak. She's wearing a nice, was that a tassel cap? What is the name of that?
It's a beanie.
A beanie? I thought it was a tassel cap. What is it? What are those
A
things?
tassel cap, I think, it would have to have a little ball on the top, or maybe like the little strings hanging down. Mm-hmm. This is just a beanie. Look at how sportsy I look today.
I know you got the sportsy thing going.
Apparently,
again.
It's not good look though.
I know you're looking. If you're watching, if you're looking, you're enjoying the greatest producer in the history of internet radio, Alex Clemens. Alex, thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome.
And again, Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Awesome. It's going to be an incredible 2019 for Alex and I. So we're looking forward to it. But today is about looking back at an incredible 2018 for Alex and I. And again, where can you find all of these great shows? If you want to listen to all of the shows that we've recorded over 2018 and you want to have your own little recap and go, oh, I wonder what was going on in the spring of 2018, you just go to the River's Edge, or you go to you go to iTunes, you go to SoundCloud, you go to Google Play, and you'll find the River's Edge, and then you find all our episodes.
Yeah, it's amazing. And then you can also listen to live music. Imagine that.
Now, this year for Christmas, you got one of those. What did you get?
It wasn't my present.
Okay, what was it though?
I don't know. I don't know what it's called. It's like this little Alexa device that basically has like a big screen on it, but then also has this big speaker attached to the back.
Okay.
And you can say, "Hey Alexa, play the River's Edge."
And you do.
Yeah, we did it on TuneIn Radio, so we listened to the River's Edge Christmas morning, and it was so nice. And my family was like, wow, I actually really like the music that they're playing. I was like, yeah.
Here's the thing that you learn about this station. First and foremost, Brian, the Godfather, and Sarah both have done a tremendous job with this station. Continues to grow. Some amazing things happening already. I'm privy to some great things happening to the River's Edge moving forward in 2019. Some big names. Big names coming over here.
Well, you scared me.
It's going to be exciting. We're going to get most of the 1968 ABA champion Pittsburgh Condors to possibly do a podcast about their magical year.
Damn, it's fun because I actually know who the Condors are, just very mildly, literally about what you just said.
Yes.
That's the extent of my knowledge.
That would be a shirt that you would wear, 1968 ABA champion. That'd be the type of shirt that like Alex would wear because it'd be sportsy, but again, it's not something that you would look at it as being like, Steelers, Pirates, Penguins type.
Yeah, it's a throwback.
Yeah, a throwback. And that's all Alex is. She's a throwback to a previous era. I think you are a throwback to the glory days of internet radio.
Yep. The glory days of everything, really.
The golden age of internet radio, which if you ever want to visit the Internet Radio Hall of Fame, where Alex is a first ballot Hall of Famer, it is currently outside of a Waffle House in Orlando, Florida. Make sure you get them smothered and covered. That's what you do.
Oh. That smothered and covered is the exact way to get them.
Yes.
Anything else is too much.
I agree. You don't want to get anything else smothered and covered. Cost extra, but at the Waffle House,
yes.
Pinpoint. That's another thing I would say a magical moment of 2018. I finally visited a Waffle House. Remember that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're already bored. Anyways,
no, it amazes me Did I ever tell you the Dippy Egg story about the Waffle House?
Yeah, you got yelled at by someone who was a representative of the Waffle House Corporation for saying you wanted Dippy eggs.
I did not.
They got screamed at.
They just made me feel so stupid. They laughed at me. I'm a little 5-year-old kid. You know, people laughing at her because she asked for Dippy eggs. That's rude, really. It's the only time I've ever not liked the Waffle House.
At that point, I think that you have a right to sue them, because I think that you ultimately you're in your mid-20s now and you're still bringing it up.
I'm still traumatized by it.
I know you absolutely should be sitting there in front of the Waffle House CEO, who I bet you his name is Gus, and I'd be sure. Hey Gus, what's the deal? And they'd be like, I'm sorry, here's a worldwide pass to any Waffle House. It's on you, Alex, so that you have a proper Waffle House memory for the rest of your life.
Even if I just got a $25 gift card, I'm cool with that. That's cool. I could get 16 meals with that gift card.
There you go. Speaking of gift cards, I wanted to bring up a couple things that happened to me over the holiday season. One thing that did come up was I went to my first baby shower.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, because
men don't do that.
I know, but this time I did, and it was awesome because my sister Meg and my sister Beth came into Pittsburgh, and they're having multiple baby showers because one of them lives in Washington, D.C., the other one lives in New York, but they wanted to have a Pittsburgh one for the Pittsburgh folks, and so we were there, and here was my thing. During the week before, I was thinking, you know what am I going to get them? I don't know anything about babies or anything like that. I didn't want to get a screw up and get them something that you're not supposed to get them or anything like that. Because I'm terrible with sizes. Full disclosure, I bought a bunch of T-shirts from your place, which everyone was really excited.
All the sizes were wrong.
Well, I just guessed up.
Yeah.
I figured worst case scenario, I'd rather guess up and then they just have a loose fitting T-shirt.
Right.
Because guessing down means that maybe I think you're a little smaller. Because as a big guy, I always appreciated when someone would just sit there and say, here's a 4X, just whatever. I'm like, I'm not a 4X, but I can wear a loose-fitting T-shirt around the house.
Anyone can.
But I mean, again, if they give me a medium, then all of a sudden that thing becomes just essentially a sweat rag.
Go big or go home.
Exactly. So essentially, I was figuring out, and then I was watching Goodfellas, which again, if you have any major questions in your life, just watch Goodfellas. It'll answer them.
Okay.
So essentially, I saw Paulie going to Henry Hill's wedding, and he gave him just cash. So I just decided to go get 2 American Express gift cards, and I went up to each one, and I just handed them to him. I said, here, $100, boom, have fun with life, and they seemed to be pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're having a baby, I feel like that's probably something you don't have a ton of. You know, and then you can use it for whatever you want. And someone doesn't buy you 2 diaper baskets.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and especially me, I would have screwed up big time.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and so again, now it's just like, here's $100. Go knock yourself out.
Knock yourself out.
So I
can't wait to see what they get with that $100.
I know they should tell me what they get, but they won't. They'll just be like, oh, I don't know. We bought,
diapers.
We went to the casino and tried to double it.
Ooh.
That's what my sister Mary was in town for. She was in town for a week. Big news from my sister Mary, who's out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
She actually got a job as a staff writer on a Comedy Central show.
What? That's so cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow. Finally have a famous person in your family.
Congratulations, Mary. The show is being produced by Will Ferrell and Adam McKay.
Damn.
So big time show. So congratulations to Mary, everything like that. Lots of beautiful things happening in there. Another thing that I learned over the holiday season is Christmas really isn't as good when you don't have the little kids around.
Yeah.
Little kids really make, because here's the thing that happened I had a bunch of, obviously my brothers and sisters came into town from all over the country. And what they learned was they're not as young as they used to be.
Yes.
Because when they showed up, they're like, let's go and drink and let's go to the casino and let's stay up till 4 a.m. and let's all this kind of stuff. I had to do other things. So I'm like, hey, you guys knock yourself out, whatever. But it got to Christmas Day and they were just wiped out. They were just they were just comatose. And so the day was just like a very quiet day until the nieces and nephews showed up, and that's when it got nutty. That's when Christmas really started to rock, because that's when, all those, I sent you a picture of Jack, and he was throwing the football around and all that kind of good stuff. So again,
I
Christmas was great with that.
I agree, but I just really would love to know how it was like before, like me and my sister, because there weren't really any small children before me and my sister for a little time period. And I just think it'd be really fun to like drink with all my cousins and stuff like that, but I can't because all of them have children and all of them have to like go home or like watch their children.
Yeah.
So no one really drinks with us. It's always like me and my sister drinking the most.
I know.
But so I definitely like the kids being around because they definitely make it a lot more entertaining. But I would like to drink with my cousins. So
I
if
think
you guys
if
are listening, let's
your
go drink.
cousins would commit to the fact that Christmas Christmas Eve would be a big drinking day. The problem is my family like led up to the drinking, and so by Christmas they were kind of they were pooped out.
Yeah. So I did not do that. So
I know.
I was not pooped out.
You were. I mean, you're an aficionado. You have an entire segment based on your love of drinking.
I didn't even drink that much during. I mean, I drank like more than other people.
Yeah, you drank,
but I didn't drink a ton.
Yeah, you didn't. By Alex standards, you were not.
I had a couple bottles.
You had a couple bottles of wine, but to for any other human being, we would have brought her into AA. But you're fine. You've got the liver of like a Navy sailor that's been in like a port of calls for years.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever. Okay. So as we said before, this is a review of 2018.
Woo.
Overall, Alex, how would you say 2018 was for you?
I'd give it out of 10, maybe a 6 or a 7.
I would say
leaning towards 7.
I would sit there and say that on average, the world around me that didn't have anything to do with me, I would say a 3.
Yeah.
Me in general, I would say probably a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
First and foremost, just go over some of the highlights.
Yes.
Number 1, continued growth of the show.
Hell yeah.
More people liking the show, more people watching the show, more people coming up to us, treating us like big shots because of the show.
Yes.
Things like that. More people, more low lifes liking us, trying to like grab on to the immediate and amazing fame.
Yeah, all the paparazzi.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but like when you're just trying to go, out to the store, score some bacon and eggs, and like all of a sudden, like TMZ's following you around, it can get a little annoying, but you know what? That's what happens when you become internet radio celebrities.
Thankful.
I know. We're both thankful. You have to be thankful.
Yes.
But I would say that a big moment this year, again, I don't know. Brian Crawford and I have said this to him a dozen times. If the whole internet radio thing doesn't work out, he should take a job as an event planner.
Agreed.
Because this year, the Millvale Music Festival that we hosted, the big stage at Mr. Small's Theater, was like incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, at least maybe like 1,000 people inside Mr. Small's Theater. We hosted the whole night. I think most people agreed that the bands were overshadowed by our celebrity and our talent. But yeah, amazing. We got to act like cool people backstage.
Yeah, we got to hang out with the musicians,
And they also got to hang out with me.
Right.
Because like later on in the year, then they'd find me at like comedy events and they'd be like, "Oh, hi Mike." And I'd be like, "Oh, how you doing?"
I know you.
I know. And then we had that like moment of like, "Hey, that's like when I bet you it happens the same way when like, like Mick Jagger sees like, Jerry Seinfeld. They're like, "Oh, you're famous, I'm famous." And then we just are famous.
Yeah, you give him a head nod and you go about your day.
Yeah, exactly. But again, the Millvale Music Festival was spectacular. A couple other things on a personal note. Got to visit Southern California.
Boop,
boop. For the first time in my life. Actually on 2 separate trips. One trip I spent a week in Los Angeles proper. Again, I have 3 siblings that live in Hollywood. Which I learned that if someone says to you, "Hey, you're going Hollywood," it means you're homeless. I said that joke in front of a couple comics who were coming into town from Los Angeles, and they burst out laughing.
Yeah, because it's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about like Hollywood in particular. You see the biggest divide in the history of like the world in terms. You will see a person driving up in a $200,000 sports car looking like just Mr. Hollywood, just the 50-year-old guy with the tan and the Botox and all that kind of stuff, and then a homeless guy taking a dump on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like, that's Hollywood.
Yep.
That's Hollywood to a T. So I got to spend some time there. Overall, again, continued growth of the show, continued growth in terms of comedy. Helped open up the new improv here in Pittsburgh, was part of their soft opening here. So all good things in 2018. News-wise, very sad stories. The weather was awful in Pittsburgh. Lots of rain.
Super sad story. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Also, obviously, the shootings on the Tree of Life out in
actually sad story.
Actual sad story. So overall, 2018. That's why I said everything around me, really craptastic year.
Yes.
Me personally, an okay year.
Yeah.
So that's
Agreed.
how you'd have to kind of go from there. Now, Alex, what would you say again were some of the highlights of 2018?
I dyed my hair 4 separate times, which is great.
What colors again? Let's review.
Or maybe I guess it's just technically 3.
Was blue this year?
I had the end of my blue this year, and then orange, blue, teal, and then this color that I have now, and then I'm getting it dyed tomorrow. So technically, that's part of the year.
So you're gonna have 5 hair colors in 2018.
Yep, new year, new me tomorrow.
There you go.
Got to start the new year off fresh.
So would you say which hair color were you the most satisfied with this year?
I think looking back at photos, because I was just doing that, I would say probably like the teal blue color was probably my favorite so far. But I have a feeling that tomorrow might be my favorite.
Well, you got to make sure that everyone sees it for tomorrow, because that's a great way to
you better believe I'm taking 6,000 photos tomorrow. It's New Year's Eve. I got a whole outfit picked out.
Where are you going? I mean, do you want to tell people so people don't hound you?
No.
Okay.
We'll talk about it in my bar thoughts, but we're going to Lawrenceville.
Ooh, okay. There you go. A little tease. That's what they say that in the radio business.
I've finally gotten that down pat.
There you go.
I know. You've taught me so well.
I know. You become a radio professional. Only took 3 years.
Yes.
So, what else? 2018, what comes to mind?
I got to go to Savannah again, which is one of my favorite places ever. So that was a pretty awesome trip.
Okay.
I moved home, which I thought would be really sad, but it ended up being great, and I love spending time with my family. So that's definitely probably one of the biggest highs.
One of the things, especially with the holiday season, and I was talking about this with my brother Matt, is we're in that place right now where only really my brother John was not able to come out from Los Angeles, so he has a child.
Yeah.
And then obviously Tim and Heidi have the 3 children, and now Meg and Beth are going to have a kid. So we're on that precipice of this becoming a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
To get this many people into one spot.
Yeah.
So it's going to become something to where it's going to become very hard to get everybody into one house type deal.
Yeah.
It's going to become very kind of fractured. So I hope we can find ways to kind of have, maybe this person and this person kind of go with a holiday, and this person, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, that's why it was pretty good this year, because literally all of us were home. Like my sister has been home from New York, so she wasn't like traveling. A couple years ago, she was traveling like on Christmas Eve to get home. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, everyone was home, and we all like got to sleep in one house, and it was lovely.
There you go.
So yeah, I think moving home with my fam is probably the biggest high.
There you go. And then show related, what would you say are some of the highlights?
Definitely the Millvale Music Festival, I would say. And I also I very much appreciated the comedians that we had on the show this year. I think that was a lot of fun to do.
One thing that like a prideful thing that's happening, and Aaron Kleiber said this to me, friend of the show, friend of the River's Edge, when he was going to do his recording out in Homestead.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, Mike, I'd like to do your show. I'm doing the circuit." And I sat there, I go, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, your show, and then Drinking Partners, and then you jag up, And I kind of felt like, oh, our show is like, you're going to do Leno, and you're going to do Letterman, and you're going to do Fallon. And
yeah.
It's like, okay, if you're going to do a podcast in the city of Pittsburgh and you need to promote something, you have to go on the Mike Sasson Show.
We're a go-to.
Yeah, we're a go-to spot to where you can do that. And that will continue. We actually have a couple comedians booked for January already.
Whoop, whoop.
So we will move forward with that. But yeah, that's, again, a little nice thing that the show has
Little
risen.
tidbit.
Yeah, a little tidbit. Risen to that level and everything like that. But again, looking forward to a lot of growth in 2019, and it's going to be an incredible year of growth for the River's Edge and for Alex and I. Anything else that you would sit there and say that really stuck out in 2018?
I don't think so.
All righty.
Just getting to spend another year with you, Mike. We celebrated our 2-year anniversary. Remember that?
Yes, I did.
Just a couple months ago?
I know. Well, that was July, so we're almost at 2.5 years at this point.
Yep. Just
Damn.
getting old.
That's one thing about like this past week when you posted some of those me clean shaven in the old studio. I'm like, that looks like from a different era.
It really does. I don't even remember us then.
Yeah. Like, it's weird to think that it's like when you watch an old TV show before HD or something like that, and you're like, this looks completely different.
Yeah.
That was how that show felt. Like, that might have been our first Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I know. It's weird. It's like we're from the 40s. It's like we've been doing this show for eras. Eventually, we'll be doing this show. It'll be looking like it's black and white. That'll be an incredible moment. But speaking of incredible moments, Alex, as she mentioned before, is going to be talking about what she's doing on New Year's Eve. So you're going to want to listen to that, or what she did on New Year's Eve, because if you're listening on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com, it's already Tuesday. Guess what? It's going to be enjoyable either way. Again, it's the Mike Sasson Show. You're listening to the River's Edge. Keep listening on www.riversedgepgh.com. We'll be right back.
Here we are, distracted by every sound. Here we are, holding on to everything spiraling out. Holding on, you think your world is empty now.
You are listening to the Mike Sasson Show, broadcasting from beautiful Mr. Small's Studio Theater here at Mr. Small's Studio. Now, the thing about it, if you've ever been to Mr. Small's Theater here in Millvale, it's actually like 3 or 4 different things. There's the big like music hall where they get the big bands, and then there's a thing called the War Room, which is like down below, which is like a bar and stuff like that.
And now it's a cafe.
Now it's a cafe, which is cool. And then you have Mr. Small's Fun House, where it's a great little venue, seats about maybe 150 people with a bar. I've watched concerts there. I've performed comedy there. It's a great thing. And one of my real friends in comedy here in Pittsburgh, Ian Insect, is doing a show this week.
Yes.
And Alex has all the details, or deets as the kids like to say.
Deets.
The deets. Give us the deets for Ian's show.
All right, so this Friday, that's January 4th, it's Bit City Live. And it's going to be at 7:30 p.m., like Mike said, in the Fun House. So basically, it's a stand-up show with out-of-town comics from L.A., Phoenix, and Jamestown, which is home of the new National Comedy Center. I
Right
don't
there,
know if you
the
knew
home
that.
of Lucille. Yeah, at the home of the hometown of Lucille Ball.
So it's going to be hosted by Erica Lang from Working Breed, and the comedian.
Great band.
Really, really good. They've been at the Millvale Music Festival, and they're on the River's Edge, and they're real good.
Yes.
Comedians are going to be Abby Denton.
From Los Angeles, great comic there.
Yes. Ryan Garasich, Pittsburgh native.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Just saw him.
Phoenix. Not Phil. The PH city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saw him last week, and his comedy is doing good.
Yes.
So you should definitely go see it. And let me see if there's any other comics. There's also Paul Clement, Jeremy Little, and Kip Reynolds, all from New York State.
There you go.
Tickets are $8 at the door, but we have 4 free tickets to give away. What?
Yes.
So, how do we want to do this, Mike? Do we want to have people tell us their New Year's resolution?
Sure. That's what we'll do.
You know, we love New Year's resolutions.
So here's what you do. Go and find any of the quote or the clips or the main show that we post on Facebook, or reach us out on the Mike Sasson Show Facebook page. Make sure that it is that you like the show, because we're going to check. So if you haven't liked the show, then
you're just a shithole trying to get free tickets.
Yeah, then you can go to hell.
Yeah.
You ungrateful SOB. Anyways, so what you do is you tell us what your New Year's resolution is for 2019, and you'll be entered to win 4 free tickets to this show. $8 at the door. We're giving it to you for free. So 4 times 8. What is that again?
32.
32 big American dollars that you're saving because you listen to the Mike Sasson Show or watch us. So again, go on any of the clips, put down what your New Year's resolution is for 2019. Doesn't even matter if it's just like, I want to be less fat, or I want to stop drinking so much, or I want to leave prison. Whatever you want to do in 2019, whatever magic you want to create in the new year, you put it down. Or maybe you'll just sit there and be like, here's my New Year's resolution. Give up New Year's resolutions. There, great, you're entered. I don't care. I'm not a cop. I don't care what you say. Anyways, so you could do that and you'll be entered into the show. Again, this Friday at 7:30.
Yes.
At the beautiful Mr. Small's Funhouse right here in beautiful Millvale, Pennsylvania. Brought to you by Ian Insect. So it's going to be a tremendous show.
It's going to be so good. The comics are great.
Great comics, great
need to
fun,
see it.
and a great venue. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be awesome. So again, post what your New Year's resolution is, and it'll be amazing.
Honestly, your New Year's resolution should be to win these free tickets.
Yes.
That should be your resolution.
That's absolutely a tremendous New Year's resolution. I agree with you, Alex. Great call there.
Thank you so much.
Another great call is the fact that Alex tells you about her deepest thoughts. It's going to be a great 2019 because we have Bar Thoughts and Experiences with Alex. Alex, play your theme song.
Oh, perfect timing.
Maybe y'all can relate. My style's dope any way that you slice it. It's a fresh cut, hope that you like it. About to open up a can.
I really feel with my outfit today that I could really get into some hip hop moves.
Really?
I've got like sweatpants on, high tops, and beanie on. Like I could do some real cool breakdancing moves right now.
You were not alive during the really heyday of breakdancing.
I guess not.
Yeah, like the mid 80s when like people would put down the cardboard and just get after it.
Yeah, no, I missed that.
I know.
Sadly.
I was a small child, and because I grew up in a mostly, let's just call it white neighborhood, there were a few people that felt they could break dance, but looking back on it, none of them could.
Listen, I've always tried, especially in dance. We had some like breakdancing classes. It's hilarious when you try to teach kids who have mainly grown up doing ballet. Try to teach them like hip hop or breakdancing. It's hilarious.
Okay.
So I've tried a lot.
I
have not succeeded.
I can do the worm real good.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't picture that.
I'm an amazing athlete, and of course I can.
Why have you never broken this out at any like live event that we've ever done? I feel like that could really rile up the crowd.
Because here's the problem. I'm a large individual.
Yes.
I would need a lot of room.
True.
Okay, here's where we typically see each other. Here, not a lot of room. Expensive equipment.
Yes.
Scarps, no room.
No.
So where else would we do it?
Listen, whenever we have our summer party that we've been planning for 60 years, you can do it there.
Yeah, that'll be what we'll do.
Next to the pool full of Jell-O with all the women.
Yeah, that I will do the worm at that point.
Okay.
But Alex, you're talking about New Year's Eve.
Hell yeah.
Drinking, getting it going. You've already got a special dress all picked out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that picture will be up on Instagram, so you'll get to see it because you are a friend of the Mike Sasson Show. That's what you watch. That's why you watch the Mike Sasson Show, to get the great deets about our lives.
The deets. Yeah. I'm I'm going out for New Year's Eve again. I did not do anything last New Year's Eve. I sat in my house alone.
Okay.
So I'm getting back out there.
Alrighty.
So we're going to Lawrenceville to the Gold Mark. We bought they have a party. We got tickets. There's party favors and a champagne toast and fancy things and dancing and all the goodness of.
Have
New
you
Year's
been?
Eve.
Do you have tickets, or did someone invite you, or what's the deal?
I got tickets.
Okay.
I bought them
All right.
with my cash.
Okay.
Monies. Yep.
Because you're a player.
Yeah, it was super expensive.
Okay.
It wasn't. So I decided that for my New Year's Eve checklist, I'm going to be with. It's going to be me, my sister, the guy she's seeing, and then maybe a couple other couples.
Okay.
So I'm just going to be like fifth wheeling it.
Uh-huh.
So I thought for me to have a little bit of fun, I'm going to have a little checklist of things for me to do on my New Year's Eve night.
All right.
You're so ready, aren't you? Are you going to write down all the things that I say?
I'm going to pretend, yes.
Okay. So I need your help with 5 of them.
Okay.
I thought it would be really good to have 18 things on my list for to kick off to
For kicking off 2019, have
Yes.
18 things.
Yep.
Go.
And then maybe if I'm feeling special, it'll be 19.
There you go.
Okay. I have make someone believe I'm famous.
Okay.
Which won't be hard because I am.
I know.
Give said person an autograph,
Okay.
hopefully on their abs.
Have you ever signed your autograph?
I mean, I sign my name all the time,
But
but
has someone ever come up to you and asked for your autograph?
no, not yet. Tomorrow.
I know. Tomorrow it's going to happen. Hey, okay, I'm talking to the people out there. Don't be intimidated by Alex. She's a person.
I'm really nice.
She's she's
I'm
a
very
person.
nice.
She's a person. Go up to her and say, Alex, I love the show. Can I get an autograph?
Also, tell me I have a killer outfit because my outfit tomorrow is killer.
Okay. I'm talking in general. I'm talking when she's out drinking with friends.
People have gotten a little better at that, but it's usually just comedians.
Okay.
Not regular people.
I know, but get an autograph from
folk.
Alex. It's definitely you need a headshot.
I'm really trying to have it be on someone's abs, though. You know?
I one time after a show, this woman came up to me and goes, "Hey, would you sign my abs?" And I did, and then she came back the next week and she turned it into a tattoo.
No.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. So that's on some woman's body for the rest of her life.
It's the biggest mistake she ever made.
I'm going to become so famous and people are going to like, hey, what are those scribbles on your abs? And be like, that's Mike Sasson before he was the greatest famous person in the world. Be like, oh my God, your abs are worth zillions now.
I think I would only get someone's autograph tattooed if it didn't really look like their name.
Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll kind of scribble mine out so I can hope for that.
There you go. Would you ever get your chest signed?
Probably not. I can't think of any celebrity that like I would want to do that.
Okay.
So
I couldn't because they're hairy, but you know,
yeah, gross.
someday.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You just shave a little spot for someone to sign.
Yeah, that I have to do that in the place. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Okay, number 3, take a photo with a stranger. Hopefully it's the stranger that I made believe I was famous and signed their abs.
I think the fact of them, here's what has to happen. Other people in your party need to treat you a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to get everyone involved.
It'll be easy because it's my sister. I can convince her of anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
Make a drunken New Year's resolution because I haven't made any yet, so I figured it's best to do that drunk. Make a stranger buy me a shot for my 21st birthday.
That will be easy, except for okay. You still look 21-ish, so okay, go ahead.
I did it 2 years ago on Thanksgiving Eve. I made people believe I was 21.
Okay.
Oh, you just have to make someone believe you're 21 long enough for them to buy you a shot, and then that's it.
Okay.
You know? I just have to memorize what year I should have been born.
Okay. I would have a terrible time doing
Math.
that.
I don't know.
Hate math.
Give out my number in a creative way. I think I already have it planned out. but
Okay,
I'm gonna
don't tell
you.
me. I want you to tell me next week how you do this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've been meaning to do it, so I'm going to see if I can.
Okay.
Tell a sob story about why I'm single on New Year's Eve. Like, my boyfriend died in a horrible fire yesterday.
You can't make it that sad.
Not that sad, but along the lines of something sad, and it, like, happened kind of recently, and now I'm alone on New Year's Eve.
Here's what you say.
What?
You can't do anything with the military because then someone
No,
feels
yeah,
bad.
that's fucking sad. And
You have to sit there and say, boyfriend went off to New York to do something that like it was. Would you want to portray it that you left on good terms, or do you want to leave it that he just left because he's a scumbag?
I don't know.
These are decisions
Maybe
you
I'll
didn't-
try out both.
Okay, you have
Maybe one will be like, oh, he went to go help starving children in Africa. Nice.
Yeah.
The other one will be like
He ran off with some floozy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to say floozy.
Hell yeah.
I know, it's great, Nick. Great.
Man,
We're gonna bring back. Floozy.
I didn't
We're
bring it back enough this year.
Yeah, that's 2019 bringing back floozy.
Hell
Go ahead.
yeah. Okay. Write a cheesy Instagram post about 2018. Already planning on it. Use a terrible pickup line, but I don't have any. Do you have any ideas for terrible pickup lines?
Every pickup line I've ever had does not work, so they're all pretty bad. Here's the problem. Any pickup line from you will work.
I've never used a pickup line on anyone, so that might be a little difficult for me.
Okay, here's a horrible one.
Fob it up.
Here's a horrible one. Are you hurt? Did you, because you fell from heaven or something stupid like that?
Are you Australian?
Okay.
Because
no.
you meet all of my qualifications. That one gets me every time.
Want to bang?
What's the rest of this?
Just want to bang.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's not a cheesy pickup line.
Oh, okay.
It is a terrible pickup line, I guess, so you're right about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Dance alone. That won't be hard.
Yeah, you do that normally.
Get a stranger to post a photo of me on their Instagram.
Shouldn't be hard.
Tell someone about the Mike Sasson Show. Make
Aha.
sure to include us, you know.
There you go. Always. Here's the thing. If you do that, then you can write the tickets off as a business expense.
True that.
Make that big time cash.
Right. When I fill out my taxes. I do that.
I know.
Kiss a stranger. Maybe at midnight.
There you go.
So we need to think of 5 more.
Wait a minute. I thought I only ended up thinking of one.
No, you have to think of 5 more. That was only 13 things.
Okay.
I know. It's really hard. I was really trying to do that.
Okay.
I came up with a lot of good ones, so I know I left you in a terrible spot.
Okay. Sing that weird song for like New Year's
Which one?
Eve.
There's
Will all acquaintance be for whatever that weird song is.
Okay. I don't know that song.
Exactly,
So I'll have to memorize it
No one
first.
knows the song. Everyone just sings that song.
Okay. Sing the New Year's Eve song real loudly and badly.
Okay. See the sun come up.
Oh, Jesus. I got a hotel room because I'm living large. I'm going to like pop champagne in my hotel room by myself and whoop,
Okay, cool.
whoop.
But
you
I
know?
mean, yeah, but see the new year come up over the sun.
See the sunrise. That's fine. I like it.
Okay,
That's a good one.
there you go.
Pop champagne. I feel like that should probably be on there. I need to
Yeah.
get champagne tomorrow.
Pop champagne.
It's probably all going to be sold out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, no, you gotta plan ahead. That's why you're doing this now.
2 more.
Okay. Have big breakfast next morning.
New Year's Day.
Yeah,
I don't usually eat on New Year's Day because I'm too hungover.
I know, but you gotta have a big breakfast because breakfast is key. Big brunch. You gotta go to brunch. Brunch. Big time brunch.
New Year's brunch.
New Year's brunch. Got to do that. Watch at least 10 minutes of the Rose Bowl.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah, got to watch the Rose Bowl.
I actually watch a lot of football on New Year's Day,
But you gotta
surprisingly.
watch the Rose Bowl
It's my favorite, I know.
the prettiest sporting event of the year. They make that field and that area around there, which is weird because I visited it this year. It's legitimately in just like a park in a residential neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's not like at Heinz Fields, like in a sea of parking lots. There's a parking lot near there, but like it looks like if they just put a football stadium in the middle of like North Park.
Yeah.
So it's really, and there's big mountains around there. So I always like watching the Rose Bowl because again, it's usually cold here and it's like sunny there, so that's always cool.
I like watching whatever college game has the prettiest uniforms.
Well, the Rose Bowl this year are the Washington Huskies and the Ohio State Buckeyes. But I will say this: the Sugar Bowl is Texas versus Georgia. Those are two pretty good
Which
uniforms.
one's the sparkly one? I like the sparkly people. They don't. I'm like
Ohio State has sparkly. They'll have sparkly silver helmets.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking. They're like bright metallic silver helmets.
Yeah.
Yes, I like those ones.
Yeah, they'll be big.
Sweet.
Other bowl games that day. Pitt plays on Monday, so they have blue. They'll be playing Stanford.
I don't care about anything
on
Monday.
Penn State will be playing on I think New Year's Day against someone.
So I'll like really New Year's Day we go to my aunt and uncle's house and watch football, and we have pork and sauerkraut.
Yeah, that's a big New Year's thing.
Oh man, just the best meal ever.
Yeah,
especially when you're hungover too.
And the Germans know how to do things like that. That's a big German thing.
Yeah.
What are we up to now?
That was 18.
Do you want a 19 because it's going into 2019?
If you have one, sure.
Okay. Find someone who's down for New Year's and give them a little pick me up.
Oh, like sad.
Yeah, someone's like, "Oh, I'm all alone and life sucks," and you're like, you know what? You're a champion.
I'll buy him a drink.
There you go.
Stand and buy a drink. I've always wanted to just compliment someone. Like, there was a person at Scarpacey's a couple weeks ago, had a beautiful smile. And I didn't get to go over to them because comedy was happening and they were sitting right next to comedy. And so I didn't want to interrupt. And they left in the middle. And I was going to go over to them and say, you have a beautiful smile. Let me buy you a drink. That's probably how I get killed.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Hopefully not. But, yeah, so that'd be a great thing. We got 19 going into 2019. We did it. We're a team. It's victory, win, do it.
So next week, we'll come back to this.
And see how many you got.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know how I did on my list and see how the next year is going to pan out. If I don't do all of these, the next year is going to be absolutely terrible.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen. Anyways, thank you very much for Bar Thoughts and Experiences
Hey,
from
you're
Alex.
welcome.
Moving on to Hot Takes for 2018. Play the song. These are some quick 2018 thoughts. First thought, I have a feeling. I don't know how I could describe it. 2018 was a very sad year, but nothing, I don't think anything really like horrible, like that, like there was no 9/11. There was nothing terrible like that.
No, 9/11 didn't happen again.
Yeah, nothing great, but I got a feeling something's coming up. Like like if it was 1966, a lot of stuff happened. But 1968 was the year that it was like, boom, now things are going on. I think we're at that point. I think we're in 1966.
Right on that edge.
We're right on that edge of something super cool happening. Here's another hot take. I was watching like they're talking about in 2019, like the Grammys and all these like hot bands and who were like the people that like lit the world on fire. I didn't know any of them.
Yeah, that seems right.
I'm officially to the point to where there's just random girl number 4 singing Carly B. I know who she is. I watched about 30 seconds of one of her videos, was not interested, and was like, don't care that this person's famous.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at in 2018. If you're famous, I don't care. Speaking of someone who's famous who needs to learn, I don't know if you saw this, but Watson and Holmes is getting insanely bad reviews.
Yeah.
And here's my thing. Here's my hot take. I hope these guys learn their lesson. Because I think what happened is they made Step Brothers, they made Talladega Nights, and they were like, you know what? All we need to do is just put us in a funny situation and we'll just improv it. We'll figure it out on the set because we're just that damn funny and we'll figure it out. Well, guess what? Write something prior.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, figure it out prior to that and then you go from there.
I think that they got a little too cocky. They're like, we're unstoppable. We can't make a bad movie.
Exactly, because all we have to do is just sit there. Hey, Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Sherlock Holmes.
What can go wrong?
What could go wrong? How do you there's no way we just make an hour and a half crap fest. Yeah, you do. You know something's bad when you're watching the trailer and I'm like, none of these are good laughs. If you're trying to make 2 minutes of a movie to make me want to see the movie and you're like, I don't know what the hell is going on with this crap, then yeah, you did a bad job. Speaking of a bad job, Mike Tomlin at one point had a football team that was 7-2-1, and then ended the season 9-6-1, which is not good. Here's my take: Mike Tomlin's not going to get fired. Watch, he gets fired on Tuesday.
Yeah, just because of you.
Just because of me. Yeah, Art Rooney II's like, you know what? I'm firing that guy. But here's my thing. He can't be so rigid. He has to understand that he's got to make some changes, because if he doesn't, he's going to ruin the last couple years of Ben Roethlisberger.
Agreed.
Yes. It's not that he needs to be fired, but he needs to understand that changes need to be made. Those are my hot takes for 2018. Moving into 2019. There you go.
Thanks, Mike.
There you go. Moving on to news and notes from the world of sports and gossip and weirdness. Play the song, Alex.
It all starts now.
We oftentimes have stories. There's always these stories where people come out and they talk about how weird or bad or stupid millennials are.
Yes.
This
so great.
Yeah, I know. But Alex always loves these stories.
I love it.
So there was a story today saying that millennials are taking $400 online surveys to figure out whether they should have babies or not.
Oh, that makes sense. Did you take it?
I did not, because I'm not paying $400 to take a survey to say that no, I shouldn't have a baby.
I'm thinking that if you're spending $400 to take a survey about whether or not you should have a baby, you probably should not have a baby for sure.
I'm on the other end. I think if you've got $400, there's a good chance you got a lot of dough. Yeah, have the kid.
I just feel like you should. I don't know. That seems like you're kind of hesitant about it, and you're like, I need a sign. I need someone to tell me, like, this is what I should do, you know?
But here's now having so many relatives now close to me having kids. Here's what
Yeah.
I learned. Number one, most people, when they first hear they're having a kid, very few people are like, absolutely, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Yep.
Most of them are like, okay, I guess this is
We're
what I
doing
yeah,
it
I
now.
guess we're doing
This is
it
my
now.
life.
But I would say this. Number one, everyone says, well, can you afford to have a kid?
No.
Here's the thing. For the first two, you got a little bit of a buffer, because for the first 2 or 3 years, outside of just like making sure that the kids get like vaccinated and all that kind of stuff, kids are actually pretty cheap. Their clothes are pretty much throwaway. You don't have to really worry about them. They're not going to sit there and go, oh, Mom, these are uncool shoes. They're throwing them off anyway. They're covered in crap. No one cares. If they're 1 year old. No, my brother's kid, Jack, no one cares what he looks like. He's just having fun. You can afford to have that kid.
That's true.
So it only because the
It's
money.
basically, do you want to stop having nice things for yourself?
Yeah. Do you want to stop having nice things for yourself? Do you want to have that every aspect of your life is run by essentially something that's as smart as like a 5-year-old dog?
Yeah.
Like if you're sitting there going, hey, should I go out? Wait, let me see if my 5-year-old dog is not going to destroy my life. That's essentially what having a 1-year-old is.
Yeah, I'd say so. But then you have to think about kind of long term,
Yeah.
you know?
But you have a couple years until you got to figure out school and the kid figures out that, hey, I need nice stuff and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of a buffer. But ultimately, remember, your parents weren't that ready for you and, screwed you up. So who cares? Anyway, but I go with the point of if you have $400 to spend to see, then I would sit there and say, you got the dough, but maybe you're right in the sense that if you're having this trepidation and you need like an online survey to tell you you're ready to rock,
Yeah.
maybe wait a little longer.
Maybe just listen to the stuff that we just said and base your decision off of that.
I think you should base most of your decisions off what we say on this show.
I agree. And your business decisions, for
Yes,
sure.
because if you listen to these shows, amazing business decisions all day. Speaking of amazing business decisions, whoever owns avocados, apparently the next 2 months are the biggest avocado seasons of the year.
Why?
Pro football
would it-
playoffs, parties, New Year's Eve, all this kind of stuff. They say more avocados are consumed in the last month
You
or
think
two.
it'd be the summer?
I think now is mostly the party season.
Okay.
But the FDA is warning that you got to wash avocados.
Like wash the outsides of
Yeah.
them? Or that doesn't...
Because they said they tested avocados and said 17% of them tested have listeria, which 260 people died of last year.
But you're not really eating the outside,
But they
so
say
what are you doing?
You're cutting the outside, and then if the thing is on the outside, it goes on the knife, and then you cut on the inside, it gets transferred. What it comes down to is wash the outside of the avocado.
We've eaten probably 16 avocados in the past 2 weeks as a family. So
You
we
don't
haven't
wash the
died yet.
outside?
I don't know. My mom does it.
I bet you your mom washes the outside.
Sure, she seems like a person who would do that. She's
Do
very
you wash
cleanly.
the outside of your avocados?
No.
You've got to wash the outside of your
I don't
avocados.
wash the outside of any fruit, to be honest, or any kind of anything.
The FDA is talking to you then. They're sitting there saying,
Poop
Alex,
on the FDA.
you're
If that's what I die from,
gonna get listeria
With who?
and you're gonna get the poops.
what
in
is
it.
even listeria?
It's-
What even is that?
It's a bacteria that'll kill you.
Yeah, what does it do?
Mike? It eats your inside, and like you ever see like Outbreak, like it's like worse than Ebola.
All right.
I
Well,
made that completely up, but
Yeah.
I bet you it's bad.
I'll live.
You won't live. They said 260 people died because of this.
And I will be the 1% that lives from it.
Okay.
You watch.
All right. So anyway, for everyone else, please wash the outside. I thought this was a no-brainer. You're supposed to wash the outside of your avocados.
It doesn't make any sense because you're not eating. It's like, would you wash a banana? No.
I don't cut a banana though. You have to cut, and that's the whole point. The transfer from the knife goes into the fleshy.
peel of your banana could still go on the inside of the banana.
Very
even if you weren't
rarely.
cutting it.
No. I think.
I'm
I
just
wash
saying.
the outside of an orange.
I don't do that.
You don't do that?
I don't wash anything.
I
I'm
know.
a very gross, dirty person.
I know. We've found that out. Speaking of people who are gross and dirty, in no way are these people gross and dirty. The Friends. The Friends from the show Friends.
Okay.
I tried to come up with something.
That was really good.
I know. The 2018 was the year of amazing segues. Anyways, Friends. I was shocked by this.
Okay.
It's been 15 years since the show went off the air.
Yes, sadly.
Yes,
Still crying.
I know. How much do you think each friend made this year, 2018, from being on Friends?
Like, is it by episode or like just a full
Overall,
year?
they got a check from Warner Brothers for what? For still being on Friends 15 years later.
$15 million.
$20 million.
Ooh, I was close. Look at me.
$20 million. I was shocked by. Here's how their deal worked out. This is pretty cool. They all negotiated that they collectively get like 10% of the syndication.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers still makes about $1 billion a year off Friends and syndication all across the world.
Well, seems like it worked out for them.
And then also on top of that, I think for just next year, the AT&T, which owns Warner Brothers, sold for 1 year like $80 million to Netflix to keep showing Friends.
How much money does Jennifer Aniston have?
More than $20 million because she just got $20 million this year.
It seems like she probably has a lot of money because she's really like the main person who can, like, I mean, obviously all of them continue doing things, but she's done the most.
Yeah.
So I feel like she has to be just rolling in the bucks, and she ain't got no children to spend it on.
Then why did Brad Pitt dump that?
I don't know. Maybe he was intimidated by her money.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Then he went on to Angelina Jolie and dumped her. I mean, it's insane, Brad Pitt. What is going on with Brad Pitt?
He's intimidated by
By strong, successful women.
yeah,
I'm
and he
not.
doesn't realize it until he's in the relationship.
Jennifer, I am not intimidated by the fact that you have a ton of money and I mostly have crippling credit card debt.
I
am
did hear
not.
that she's looking for larger men who host podcasts.
Exactly.
I heard that somewhere.
You
so
know what?
you're in luck.
Thank you. Someday, you know what? I would figure out how to spend that $20 million. Now, speaking of that, now again, Friends, when the show was on, I wasn't a gigantic fan of it, and I'm still not a gigantic fan of it. What in your mind makes that show?
Everything.
Okay, go into deeper detail. What is about that show? Because they said it still is like literally like one of the main reasons why Netflix is still a thing. Because it has Friends. They say this is one of the most popular things.
Yeah, and then like a couple weeks ago, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take Friends off of Netflix." Like, no, you're not. Don't bullshit us like that.
The reason why is because Warner Brothers is starting its own streaming service. What's happened? Like Disney is taking all the Disney movies off, and they're starting their own thing. CBS has their own streaming. They're all getting their own separate streaming services because they're saying, "Hey, Netflix, we're not letting you make all the dough. We want to make the dough."
Yeah,
But
I mean,
what
I
makes
think
Friends friends? What
I
do you
think
like?
it's that all of the characters are still super relatable, and everyone wants to have this group of friends, like in your, in your late 20s into your early 30s. Like,
Even though
this
it's
is
kind
the
of dated, they don't have like super cell phones, and they're not.
But it's
there's
still
no
like
Netflix.
all
on
of like the jokes, all of the things that are happening in their lives are still super relatable. It's things that everyone experiences at that time in their lives, and like I said, you want to have this group of friends. Like, this is who you would want to be surrounded with, and like go through these milestones with.
Would you say that it's again, these six become like the perfect set of friends because
Yeah.
you've got like with the guys, you got like the really super smart one, the more funny one that makes decent dough, the
Yeah.
really good looking one who's the actor. Then on the other side, you have kind of the controlling one.
Yeah.
Then you've got like the artsy one, and then so like everyone gets to like they always said that about the Beatles that everybody could pick their Beatle.
Right. Yeah.
Now everyone can pick their friend.
Yeah, definitely.
Who would you say is your friend?
I always admire Phoebe. She'd be my person that I would want to be.
See, I always viewed that I I would always say that I would want to be the Matthew Perry, but I'm probably closer to the David Schwimmer.
Yeah, yep. I think that every single person, every guy that thinks he is anyone else on the show is actually Ross. That's exactly how that goes.
No one.
If some guy is like, "Oh, I'm totally Joey," like, no, you're fucking not. You're Ross. You're a terrible person.
Okay,
you're not a terrible person.
Well, but I don't think Ross is a terrible person.
He's my least favorite character.
Why?
I just like everything about him. He's just like kind of dorky and always like tries to be better than everyone and tries to think he knows more than everyone, and it's just real annoying to me.
Really, that completely sounds like me.
Yeah.
Anyways, what makes a Joey?
What makes a Joey? He's hilarious, and he is super laid back and doesn't really care about anything. And he's just like, also is not like trying to shove his smartness in your face because he isn't smart at all.
Yeah, that's why he's not trying to shove his smartness in face because he has no smarts.
And he makes some hilarious jokes about, well, I mean, he doesn't make jokes, but it's just like him being stupid. Like he talks about like having a mute point. He calls it a moo point because Cal's opinions don't matter. One of my favorite lines in the show.
Here's my big thing with Joey. He loves hoagies.
Yeah, he loves food. Yeah. They have like from their pizza place, they have like the Joey special, which I'm pretty sure is just like 2 large pizzas with pepperoni or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like in specific, one time I remember one episode is that he thought he was protecting Ross, but actually Ross had
the meatball hoagie.
He had the meatball hoagie, and he was just trying to protect the meatball hoagie, which I totally would protect the meatball hoagie.
Yeah, Joey and Phoebe are my favorites. Yeah.
Then how did Joey's show on his own fail so miserably?
I don't know. I tried to watch it, but I didn't really try that hard. But I think just the way that they cast Friends, like they cast everyone so perfectly, and every single person like grew into their person even more as the show went on.
Of the 3 guys, who aged the best?
Who aged the best?
Yeah.
Schwimmer
looks the same.
Yeah, but he was never attractive to me, so I don't think that he.
I didn't ask
well
which one was most attractive. That still is Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, I think Matt LeBlanc is. He's still like a huge dilf. He's great.
Yeah. He wasn't a dilf at the time. He was just like a decent looking dude.
No, yeah, but I mean, like still now, like as he's aged, he like the gray hair is just it's beautiful.
I know. Gray hair's awesome.
I would say Matthew Perry definitely aged the worst.
He's been in like a ton of different drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was the one thing about the Friends at the time was he would like some episodes he'd look like he was like skeleton, and then like 2 episodes later he'd look like he had just eaten himself. He was a weird looking. It was a weird look.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say it was that fast, but yeah, there was definitely.
It just seemed, I guess, because I wasn't a consistent. Like one season, I'd be like, "Oh my god, this guy's like super skinny," and then the next weekend he'd have like 2 chins.
Yeah. He definitely gains a lot of weight through the show.
And I said this before. I said this I think 2 weeks ago. I was watching Ellen while I was on the exercise machine at the gym. What's her name? Freaking Jennifer Aniston.
Hasn't aged.
I don't know what the hell happened.
Still the same person.
She legitimately must live in like an oxygen chamber and only is released to do movies and do press.
Yeah.
She had like the low like cut thing. Just
yeah.
She's
killing it.
Absolutely killing it, and still making $20 million per episode. Someone else who's killing it is Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
This is how much you're killing it. Okay, when you, she had a lot of plastic surgery to go from Bruce Jenner to Caitlyn Jenner. She's admitted that. But this is how much. Her and Cindy Crawford were actually at the same event in Great Britain. People were confusing Cindy Crawford to Caitlyn Jenner. Like people were taking her picture and go, Caitlyn, look over here. And she had to be like, I'm Cindy Crawford.
That sucks for her, but...
Look at the picture. Would you sit there and say that there's a chance...
that you would confuse them? Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's a great plastic surgeon. Like, you want to talk about plastic surgery Hall of Fame? Because there's right now, if you watch football, there's like a commercial with Ray Liotta in which he like does this like drug. You know how there's like drugs during football games where like you don't even know what the hell they do, but apparently this one gets you off smoking.
Okay.
And I always look at him and I'm just like, because again, I love Goodfellas, and so I'm like, hey, Ray Liotta. But Ray Liotta, he definitely looks like he's had work and not good work.
Oh.
So, but the thing is like you look at Caitlyn Jenner. Whoever that doctor was, if there's a plastic surgery Hall of Fame,
yeah,
that's the. You take a guy and make him, when he decides to transition into a woman, and makes him into essentially Cindy Crawford. That's pretty. You want to talk about like a before and after picture, like in Los Angeles, when you walk in, like, okay, I started with that. I ended with someone that gets confused as Cindy Crawford.
That doctor just has like Caitlyn Jenner wallpaper all over the whole office.
Yes.
Like before and after photos.
I mean, if you're
This is what you can be.
because there are a lot of people out in Los Angeles that's like almost like a running gag. If you meet like 50, 60-year-old women that like had too much plastic surgery.
Yeah.
That doctor that did Caitlyn Jenner probably couldn't do anyone else because that doctor was just working on her for like months.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that have had bad plastic surgery. So kudos to that. I was just sitting there. Now, if you were Cindy Crawford, there's one thing that got to be like, Caitlyn Jenner's like in mid to late 60s.
Yeah.
She's like in her early 50s.
Oh.
So that had to be a little bit of like maybe I need to go to this doctor to make it to where I'm like going less. I don't know.
Maybe also just change up your hair. You guys have very similar hairstyles. So maybe just, change it up. Cindy, do something different.
There was, when I was in like middle school, Cindy Crawford was the like quintessential hot woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she was the this. Who would be right now? Like if a boyfriend said to you, says like, oh well, she's nice looking, but she isn't blank. Who is the quintessential hot woman of 2018?
Damn. I'm very behind on the times.
Would you hope someday it would be Alex Clemens?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Like in 2019, like guys would be like, she's a nice looking girl. It's not Alex Clemens or anything like that.
Yes.
Would you want that?
Absolutely.
So you would become the pinnacle of beauty in the world.
What I really want is your like list that you have with people where like, oh, like if you're dating someone, you're like, these are the 5 people that like if I'm ever met, like I could sleep with them.
You're everyone's list.
I'm on number 1 of everyone's list.
But how busy would you be if guys and women would come and talk to you like, hi, my name's
I don't
Doug.
have to sleep with them.
But how much do you have to like filter through some, because there's got to be eventually some decent looking dudes are like, here's my wife, she said I'm totally cool because you're on my list.
Yeah. I'm for it. Let's do it.
And then you just have tons of just sex with married dudes.
Put me on your list.
Look in the camera. Say
I
it.
forgot where it was.
It's right in front of you.
What would you call that? Your hall pass list?
I don't know. Make it up. I don't care.
Okay.
Be creative.
Hey men, put me on your hall pass list. And your wife will be happy.
I would be on the list of the wives of just like, you know what? I if there's one guy that ultimately I would have to have sex with if like the world was destroyed, yeah, I'll do Mike Sasson.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I would be the end of the world. The meteor is about to crush into the earth guy.
You have to wink after that.
Yeah. Then. All right, we'll wink at the same time. 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right.
Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that on the podcast?
Yeah. Yeah,
that wink.
Yeah, that wink was awesome. Speaking of something that's awesome, as we mentioned before, Waffle House.
Hell yeah.
Is an amazing thing. And Alex, you talk about having an event next year for New Year's Day 2020. This is what we might be able to do.
Hell yeah.
Waffle House has a food truck that you can rent who will cater your event.
How incredible is that? I just want to know if when I order something, if they'll yell it like they do at Waffle House,
For the money that you'd be spending, yes, you would.
I should have got hope so.
Yeah. So
do we know how much it is?
I'm going through it.
Oh, okay.
$90 rental fee up front.
Easy.
$50 per hour that you have, including travel time there and back.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And $1,000 essentially for the food.
Okay.
And you'd have to put half down before you go. So
how great would this be for a wedding?
That's the whole point.
No.
Yeah.
How great would this be for a wedding at like 2 a.m.?
Like after the whole dancing, you're sitting there going, hey, by the way, outside.
Yes.
Waffle House has got it.
Damn, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Because every single person, when like they're leaving a wedding and they've been like drinking and dancing all night, they still want food. They didn't eat enough of their stupid prime rib dinner and they want some Waffle House. That's incredible. I'm going to have the most popular wedding ever. I hope no one steals my idea. I take it back. It's a terrible idea.
Boo,
Don't
terrible
use it.
idea.
But
If I walked out of the Alex Clemens wedding
Yeah.
and there was the food truck with there to where I could get omelets and waffles and all. First off, I am a huge fan of breakfast.
Yeah, I know that.
I like when I was off, I went down to Pamela's here and I got the waffles and I got everything. It was awesome. I love that place. I love breakfast. And so you talk about Waffle House if anybody has any late, like, oh, I want to make my New Year's Eve party the best, at midnight, outside, you say, hey, by the way, guess what's outside? Waffle House truck.
People would shit their pants.
Yes. They would absolutely, you'd be like, you'd officially win 2019.
Now I really want Waffle House.
You want to talk about, like, what other situation where it would just work? Any graduation party in June, if your parents are like, you super sweet 16, you'd be like, okay, we've been partying all night. Guess what's in the backyard?
I think that's when it is. I hope there's no, like, time limits on these things, you know?
$50 an hour, you get...
But I mean, like, when they would come out, you know? Are they going to come out at 2 a.m.? I sure hope so. I mean, Waffle House is
24
typically...
hours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah, pay them. We'll do $100 an hour. That's when you
I'll
know
give you
that
all the money.
That's when you know, like, if I'm, like, super famous and I build the house and everything like that, and I'm like, I do my crib. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is my pool. This is my slide. This is my jacuzzi. And then you walk in, and here's my Waffle House.
That would be sweet.
That's how I roll. That's how Sassman rolls.
Only if you hire, like, 6 women named Nancy
I
to
would
make your food.
Yeah, I can't have them in, and they'd be like, oh, hire hot chicks. Nah.
No, you need all the Nancys in the world.
All the Nancys in the world. That'd be cool if, like, I'm
And,
like
like,
a
Patty.
How fat would I be, though, if I had a Waffle House in my house?
Pretty fat.
I know. I mean, I'd be
For sure.
PHAT fat, but also be fat as well.
Oh, God.
How much would you hang out at my joint? Like, if I was out in L.A. and I'm sitting there, I got a Waffle House in my house, you'd be, like, figuring out reasons to come over to my
I
joint.
think I'd make it a once-a-year trip.
I'm talking like you lived in the neighborhood. You'd move into the neighborhood.
Maybe.
If I had a Waffle House at my joint that you could have 24 hours a day, no charge because Sassman doesn't charge, and you'd be like, oh, my God, I'm getting smothered and covered at any point.
Yeah, maybe.
You'd live you'd live in a tent in my freaking yard.
Yeah, maybe.
You'd totally be into it. Anyways, someone else is totally into stuff is Artie Lang. I don't know if you saw this. This was actually a story. Put the picture up of his current nose.
Oh.
Yeah, this is kind of rough. He was from the
Got it.
Yeah, he was obviously famous for being in Dirty Work on the Howard Stern Show, huge in Pittsburgh. And the reason why I bring it up is because this nose actually has a Pittsburgh connection. So he claims the story happened is what happened was he was in Boston and a girl that he had met, like he says his one weakness in the world is a beautiful woman with drugs. So a woman came to her show who was like, he met like 15 years ago when he was like in the throes of Howard Stern like fame, still hot, had a ton of cocaine on him.
Okay.
So she and him started traveling for like 2 weeks together. So they were in St. Louis, Missouri at the Four Seasons. She had ordered $80 in chocolate-covered strawberries.
Okay.
And had cut up all of this Vicodin using a salt shaker. But without her knowledge, which I don't know how this is, when she was cutting up the Vicodin, glass broke off of it. Then she sits there and goes, oh, there's a package at the front desk for me. More drugs. And goes there. He comes out of the shower thinking, oh, here's a line of Vicodin. I'm a scumbag. Let me snort it. Snorts the freaking glass through her nose. So now he doesn't have a septum. He doesn't have the middle part, and that's what that is.
Jesus.
Starts bleeding all over the place. Then he goes to the hospital. Apparently a doctor that had no clue how to, fix it made the nose look like that. The next day he went to Pittsburgh, which he's huge in Pittsburgh. And that, remember I told you the story about the fact that he started to bleed in the middle of his set? That's why. Because he literally, and so in the middle of his set, he started to bleed and all this kind of stuff. And he said, the people in Pittsburgh were so nice, they just came up to me and they were just acting like I was just their cousin having a bad day. Like, oh, no big deal that you had to leave the set 20 minutes. No big deal, blah, blah, blah. And he felt so awful. He was just like, I got to go to AA. So say he went to AA in Pittsburgh at midnight on a Friday, which I assume he had to go to like the South Side or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know where you do that.
Like in Homestead, it had to be like go off to the South Side. And his joke is if you ever want to know how Trump won, go to an AA meeting on the South Side in Pittsburgh at midnight on a Friday. So he went there, and then everybody there just kept kissing his ass because like, Artie, you're my God, all this other kind of stuff. But the reason why I bring that up is moving into 2019, don't do drugs. That's all I'm saying is because that nose is because you snort glass through your nose.
Just don't snort glass, maybe.
Yeah, I hope Artie cleans up in 2019, but that nose, please, for the love of God, do not do drugs. That's what I'm saying, do not do drugs. Speaking of that, I want to do a segment. We're moving into 2019, Alex.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of motivational quotes.
Yes, I know that.
I know. So I picked some of our best motivational quotes from some really super cool dudes to talk about moving forward. This is the part, and I want to make this into a separate segment. I don't even have a name for it. I don't want any music. Wait, didn't we have like music last time where I had like nice, fun music?
I can't do the same thing. Yeah.
All right.
I can play one that's called Cheap Nachos.
Go ahead.
Let's see if it works.
This is fine. No one cares. Turn it down a little. All right. So the first quote I have is from John Taffer. John Taffer, obviously, he's that guy who screams at everybody because they like their bar stinks and they have like dirty things and everything like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So his quote is like someone talked to him the other day and he goes, "To me, the common denominator of failure is excuses. And I learned if you give someone the ability to use an excuse, they'll use it every time. There's no excuses in business. Fact of the matter is, when we fail, it's because of us and the choices we make, the decisions we make, the people we hire, the things we do or don't do. So passing blame to me is the most influential element of causing failure." So moving into 2019, Alex, guess what? No more placing blame.
No excuses.
No excuses. Get it done. Another one. This is from Pittsburgh native. Someone asked him, Pittsburgh native, Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Someone asked him, they said, hey, what's the best quote someone ever gave you? Best piece of advice? He goes, "Today is the youngest you'll ever be. Live like it." Says it came from his dad. His point is that we reach a bigger number, we tend to think we are old. Then we look back and realize just how young we were and don't experience things we wanted to do because we felt we were old. I like that. Today is the youngest day that the youngest will ever be. Act like it.
Yeah.
And I also like the fact of like, I feel that if you have toxic people in your life, that's also a great way to think like, hey, you know what? If today is, why am I wasting the youngest I'll ever be on this person that doesn't treat me the way I want to be treated or doesn't act like they want to see me or be with me or care about me? Forget that. 2019, remember, this is the youngest you're ever going to be. So act like it. Boom.
Act like it.
Act like it. And then the last one is from the great Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, a certified real-life badass. He's a cool dude. I like this quote and show the picture. It says, "You will continue to suffer if you have an emotional reaction to everything that is said to you. True power is sitting back and observing everything with logic. If words control you, that means everyone else can control you. Breathe and allow things to pass."
I like this one.
Yeah. Bruce Lee has a ton of these ones. I love this one. It says, "Love is like a friendship caught fire. In the beginning, a flame, very pretty, often hot and fierce, but still only light and flickering. As love grows older, our hearts mature, and our love becomes coals, deep, burning, and unquenchable." Again, Bruce Lee had a ton of these. I like this one. It says, "Be like water, making it through cracks. Do not be assertive, but adjust to the object, and you shall find a way around and through it. If nothing within you stays rigid, outward things will disclose themselves. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. If you put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow and it can crash. Be water, my friend. I like that little quote.
Yeah.
If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. Make at least one definitive move daily towards your goal. Another one, mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit them. I like this one. Know the difference between a catastrophe and an inconvenience. To realize that is just an inconvenience and not a catastrophe, but just an unpleasantness is part of coming into your own, part of waking up. Know the difference between that one there. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or the faster, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. Reality is apparent when no one ceases to compare. There is what is only when there is no comparison at all, and then we live with what is, and it is to be peaceful. Notice that the stiffest tree is the most easily cracked, while the bamboo or the willow survives by bending with the wind. I love this. This is cool. This one's another one. Fear comes from uncertainty. We can eliminate fear within us when we know ourselves better. As the great Sun Tzu said, when you know yourself and your opponent, you will win every time. When you know yourself but not your opponent, you will win one and lose one. However, when you do not know yourself or your opponent, you will be imperiled every time. Another one, don't fear failure, but low aim. It is a crime. It is in the attempt, inglorious even to fail. I like it. Those are Bruce Lee.
Those are good.
Going into 2019. I like the one. I really like the one where 1, be like water, 2, be flexible, and 3, if words can change you, then that person runs you.
I like that because I always think about, like you have to, whenever anyone says anything to you or whenever anything happens to you in your life, it's better to like take a step back first and think about it like logically before you react, not just like react on your instinct, because a lot of times you usually like think back on that later and you're like, oh man, I would have really liked to do that differently, or One
thing I've always figured out when somebody does something to me that I am not a fan of, I have learned in my years, they're not doing something to me per se sometimes. Oftentimes, they're dealing with their own crap.
Right. They're not trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
That's not what they're doing with what they're...
But even if they are even necessarily trying to, oftentimes they're trying to because of their own screwed upness.
Right.
It's not something to where, like, they're correct in their treatment of you. It's that they are, just off. And you can't let that person dictate to you because of the fact of, at the end of the day, they're just screwed up. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. You're ready for 2019.
You're ready.
You're ready to go. You're ready to rock. We're going to have a great 2019. Thank you very much to Brian Crawford and to Sarah Kramer. Great always love with the River's Edge. Amazing things happening in 2019 with the River's Edge. Amazing things happening with the Mike Sasson Show. And amazing things happening with the greatest producer in internet radio, Alex Clemens. Thank you very much, Alex, for all the work that you do.
Thank you.
Make this show moving forward. My name is Mike Sasson. Keep listening to The River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. We'll be back next week. It's a wonderful, have a happy, safe new year. Looking forward to hearing from you next year. And remember, if you see Alex, ask for an autograph. My name's Mike Sasson. And remember, this Friday at the Mr. Smalls Fun House, great friend of the show, Ian Insect, put on the bottom here on the show, on the Facebook page, make sure you've liked our Facebook page, what your 2019 New Year's resolution is. And if you do it and we put you in the drawing, you could win 4 free tickets to a comedy show here at the beautiful Mr. Smalls Fun House Theater here at Mr. Smalls here in Millvale, Pennsylvania. It's a $32 value. You can get 4 tickets. Incredible. Thank you very much to Ian for supporting the show. And go to that show if you don't get the 4 tickets. Again, put there, what are your New Year's resolutions? And it's going to be a great time. Again, thank you very much for listening to The River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. My name's Mike Sasson. See you next week. Bye.